Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the pre-game show for the game between Collingwood and St Kilda for tomorrow night. We're doing pre-game a little bit different due to a number of, factors, but one of them is just trialing something leading into a Saturday game where everyone has commitments. I want to try a Friday where it's a little bit slower and there's a bit more time to consume the pre-game show going into tomorrow, opening up a bit of a window, on top of the fact that I'm genuinely very busy tomorrow, so I'm not going to have much time to find a pregame earlier in the day, nor will I have an opportunity to do it an hour or so before the game. So we'll see how this fares, and we've got a Saturday game next week and then a Sunday, so we'll work through it. Beyond that, we've got a few Fridays, notably that Collingwood Carlton one coming up, so that's exciting. But the focus is tomorrow. Tomorrow, 7:30 at Marvel against the Saints. They've brought in a bunch of youngsters. Tyru's debuting. A lot of excitement there. They clip a few of the older guys off their side, like Zach Jones. So they're going to try a few different things, throw a different look, albeit youngsters and all that sort of stuff. So they're certainly not folding. Like it's the worst thing they could possibly do for their fan base is kind of admit or submit to the season. I think they'd want to try and reinvigorate their form. I know post-bye last season they were really good, one of the form sides in the end. But Collingwood, conversely, on the other hand, this time last year, post-bye was horrendous. It was atrocious. It was despicable. So try and potentially avoiding that sort of repeat. It's a different side. It's a different makeup. It's a different confidence. It's a more experienced Craig McRae. How do you find a way to say that about Fly, who's won a flag at VFL level for the Tigers, multiple flags, I believe. He's won a flag at Collingwood. He's been a part of a preliminary final the previous year. So this is a guy where you win flags and he's finding ways to develop his own sort of coaching strategies and the way he deploys it across the club, all fields, all departments. You look at it last year, there was some chinks in his armor, wasn't there? He was many times after the game we say, bit suspect these decisions and non-decisions that Fly has or hasn't made, or didn't make throughout the course of the year. Hard to see if he's put a foot wrong. The only one that people might query, and hindsight is obviously 2020. Like, it's always better, always easier to make a bold statement like Jeremy Howe shouldn't have been managed for the game against Geelong, which we ended up losing. With Jeremy Howe on the side, do you lose against the Cats? You'd like to think probably not, but at some point, someone like Jeremy Howe needs to be arrested for the sole purpose of what we're seeing right now, and that's a really consistent Collingwood side. Granted, the last 5 games, they've been a little bit. They haven't been to our best. Just looking at, we've seen it, right? We saw against North, we weren't quite there. Freo, we started slow. Who else did we have? We had Melbourne. Some of these games, they weren't our finest games, but you find a way to win, and naturally, you can't be flying all the time. And maybe this was I'm hoping this was like while we were winning, this was our downhill sort of trajectory. And now we've hit the bottom, we've bottomed out, even though we're on top of the ladder. And now we just go, bang. Now we start to really surge into some really strong finals form. So some of the things we really want to keep an eye on anyways is anything to do with the contest. So ground ball gets, hard ball gets, loose ball gets. We're not the greatest side when it comes to that. But you can still find ways to win. However, in the context of a final series, that is something that you're just not going to get away with. Our defense has been holding up extremely well. We've been conceding a lot of transition to our defensive 50, but we're not conceding scores from them. So a really interesting one is here. So if we go opposition averages, talking about some statistics here in transition, right? Which is a stat on Wheelo. So from defensive half to forward 50, Collingwood concede that transition 35% of those transitions from defensive half, which is quite high. Maybe I'll share the screen. Hold on. I'll share the screen so you guys have an idea of actually what I'm talking about. Bear with me. Here we go. All right. So if I get rid of this. All right. So you can see the screen. All right. So I'll make mini-me a little bit more smaller, because that's not small enough. And guys, get your comments going in the chat. If there's anything in particular you want to talk about, let me know. I will get to the comments. I'll get through all of them. So while I'm not picking them up immediately, I will be there. Make sure that's nice and big. All right, cool. If I zoom in, is that going to give us... All right. So right now, if you look at this number here, we concede, we allow transition from opposition's defensive half into our own defensive 50, 35% of those transitions. That is third worst only to St Kilda and Essendon. And then, Richmond around the mark, North Melbourne around the mark, which is concerning for sure in the last 5 games, yeah? The thing that is saving us is this. Defensive half to score, however, we're not conceding a great deal as much as the transitions are occurring, because we are a really good intercept side in our back half right now, defending really well. But I'm worried. Like we're plus 10 in differential for intercepts per game, number 1 in the league. I'm just worried. Can we withstand that? Can we withstand this barrage of transition and holding up in our back half, back 50? What's this stat? So it's a transition stat. So I'll explain it again. It's very pertinent as well, Manny, because it's what we're seeing. I don't reference stats all the time, but I feel like this is very warranted, and you can paint the picture with it all, right? So if we go here, transition. So I was looking at defensive half to forward 50. So proportion of all chains starting the defensive half that resulted in inside 50. So 35% of these attempted chains, we are conceding this stat, right? They're going inside our defensive 50 from their back half 35% of the time. That is the third worst in the league. However, we are not conceding a score when they're going inside 50 near as much as, say, a St Kilda, right? So I'll show you again. This is, I'll show you again, right? So if we go opposition averages, right? So like I said, defensive half to forward 50, we're conceding a great deal we're conceding those inside 50s from transition from the opposition's back half a lot. But when we check how much we're conceding, we're not too bad. We're actually 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We're 8th in the league for not allowing teams to score when they transition from back half into our forward 50. However, St Kilda and Essendon, they're conceding a bunch of transitions, and then they're conceding the score as well. That's the point I'm trying to make there. What else is lacking from St Kilda's side? What's their pressure like at the moment? I mean, look at us in our last 5 games. Guys, the last 5 games, while our contest hasn't been great, our pressure and our tackling has always been up to the best of the best in the league. Plus 22 differential in tackles. Plus 27 in pressure act differential. And tackles inside 50, not too shabby either. Top 6 or whatever that is. defensive half pressure acts, right up there. So this talks to, the ball is probably living in our defensive half a little bit more, which is why we're top 3 for differentials in defensive pressure acts. If we look at inside 50 differential, which is another important metric, we're minus set. Guys, like look at all you have to do, right, is look at the teams that are around us here. Yeah? We're conceding 7 more inside 50s per game relative to our opposition, okay? St Kilda look at the moment very easy to play against. So I'd like to think we can somewhat rectify and get back to premiership status. I know, guys, we're first, we're 11-2, but there's still things that need to be fixed, need to be amended. This is not gonna cut it, is it? So who was the premiers last year? Brisbane, right? Let's have a look at Brisbane. Let's get rid of this. Team stats. Differential. Brisbane, +7 inside 50s last year. Yeah, differential. How were they in the contest? Top 4 for contest differential. What about clearances? Number 1, clearance side. So these are stats that we just have to work with. Peter says, stats are a bit hard to compare when we have only played 2 of the bottom 5. That's fair. I see what you're saying, Peter, but I mean, North Melbourne and Melbourne were in those last 5 games, and they're like considered not the greatest teams going around. Fremantle, they're going well, of course. Hawthorn, I forget who the other team may have been. So the Flying Pies in 2023 were a statistical anomaly. There was not a lot that we did well with. And you know what? The thing about the last 5 games is we played North Melbourne and Melbourne, which means we played against the 2 best ruckmen who give first service or first use to their players in the midfield in the stoppages. So that plays a pretty strong factor, or it plays a strong role in the outcome of contest and clearance, right? So that's why maybe we're conceding so many. We're conceding a lot of inside 50s. We're conceding a lot in the contest and clearances because we've played against the best ruckman in the league over the last couple of weeks. Hopefully that can change, right? And even though they got all those things right, we still beat them. So that's the beauty in it all. Compare us with 2023. Yeah, like I said, 2023 such an anomaly season. We are statistically a better side, especially when it comes to the winning margin, which is what matters the most in the end. We are a much more superior side. We were a good intercept team. Contest. What about post clearance contested? We just weren't that good of a side. Like we just knew how to win. All right, we were okay in loose ball gets, like contest there. Total differential for clearances, we're middle of the pack. This is 2023. We were just that. The thing, guys, look, this stat is pretty important if you guys want to look at something from 2023. We were top 5 for scoring shots per inside 50, which is important. We were number 2 for goals per inside 50. So that's been a theme that has been trending for the last 2-3 seasons. We're an efficient side going inside 50. So the system, whatever it is, it works. It's worked in 22, 23, 24, 25. You go to 24, which was, it's not a year we do want to look back on too fondly, but once again, even then, goals per inside 50, 1 in 4, yeah, and that had us ranked at number 5. Did we get enough inside 50s last year? Not really, particularly in that the post buy. We were pretty awful. I mean, we're just not enough going inside 50. So part of that is the issue as well. Kicking, I'm just not sure how much I want to read into this kicking efficiency stat, to be honest. Retention rating, threat rating. These are new metrics as well. Yeah. Anyhow, that's the gist of all those stats. Look, like I said, I like to reference stats from time to time because they do paint a picture. All right, let me just catch up to some comments, see where we're at. Tim is in here, Brendan, Manny, Chris Talbot, Reza, MD. I work around the corner from Marvel. I hate that place. Why the fuck are we playing a home game there? I've heard why, but I'm not happy. Should we have given Titch a game? He's probably one more good game away, Mark. A really good game against Sandy in the VFL would be good. And they've been pretty deplorable themselves, Sandy Zebras. I have no idea if the roof will be open, Timothy. Good question. Well, I saw Titch was listed as a full forward for the VFL tomorrow. So if he plays any forward time, it's probably a sign that they're going to give him the opportunity to take that Lockie Sullivan midfield/forward role. The question is, can Tom Mitchell play as a pressure forward? I just don't know. Reza says, you reckon we'll see any new debuts or will we lock in for the home run? Barring injuries, I think that what we've seen is what we've got for now. After a bye, would have filled up the G, but at Marvel, we get $1 cheaper pies with sauce. What else is everyone saying? Comparative, we've already gone through that. Cool. Dom says, we need to start debuting our young guns before the pointy end of the season. Wouldn't want to debut a young star during finals if our seniors guys get a niggle and can't play. Well, I probably disagree with that, Dom, because if any of our starting 23 players get injured, we've got a bunch of experienced players in the VFL. Markov, Cox, Mitchell, Demeter, maybe not Demeter so much, of course. Charlie Dean. There's a bunch of players that can come in and do a job before a debutant might have to come through. That's what I'm saying. Bro, it's like boxing. The only stat that matters is a knockout, says Manny. Roof is always closed for every game. Be good for a change. Roof open. Where do we hang out, Prem? I don't know, Timothy. I don't really venture out to Marvel too much, man. I'll be honest. So they're playing. Where are they playing, at the G before us, or what's the go there? Anyways, let's bring in the Malaka and see what he's got to say. Actually, we'll go Boomer first. Why not? We'll go Big Bad Boomer. Hold on. Boom Dog. Boomer, you're on mute. Come on, wake up. Switch on, Boomer. All right. Never mind. We'll go to Manny. Hold on. Ella,
stat man, you're on mute, not me, buddy.
What's going on? I can hear ya.
Yeah, because I'm not on mute. What's his name's on mute?
Yeah, I know. Boomer's on mute.
Ella, stat man. What are you doing, stat man?
Ella, the stat
You're
man.
the stat man. You're the stat man. Stats mean fuck all there. Don't worry about the stats.
Malaka, did I not make sense though, or what?
Yeah, yeah. Did you see my message?
Yeah, you said the knockout matters. Yeah. That's it.
No. I said it up further. I said that, yes, we're winning games, but yeah, you're right. It would be good to improve on our stats a little bit. That way it makes us easier to win games of football. I
think though, like playing against Tristan Sherry and Max Gorn, you're going to get beaten in the contest and clearance, aren't you?
Yeah, exactly. But you have to understand, like someone else said, we've played hard sides, bro, as well. Well, that's why the stats are lopsided. We haven't played easy teams, man. We've had a hard run. Our fixtures are shocking this year.
It was just for the last 5 games, though. I did the last 5 games. That's what it was all about.
Yeah, we've been playing shit the last 5 games as well.
We just had to highlight it, you know. Just had to highlight it. That's
plus
all.
Plus the weather conditions as well. It's been pissing down with rain.
Not at the Marvel.
No, Marvel, mate. What's happening? Why are you flat as attack for? I thought it was a pre-game show, not
Hello
the split. I
Wait.
thought it was the pre-game show, 24 hours
We're here,
for
mate.
demolition time.
We need a
24
G up.
hours. Hey, I told you I'm G'd up.
Cheer up,
Don't
bro.
worry about me. I'm ready. Hey, I'm always ready for the game. Don't worry about that, buddy. You got to G up. Don't you threaten me about G'ing up. Oh, me and you want tomorrow. We want to play good football and we want to get the job done. We don't want no heart attack materials or nothing fucking stupid. Just go in there, get the job done, and go home and get ready for West Coast.
Go home. We're home, Malaka. We're home.
Yeah, well, they're gonna go home. The boys have to go home. Get ready for West Coast.
Fuck, what a shitter of a... Like, look, it could be... Look, looking at the game before going into it, these are two shitter fixtures. They're shit-house fixtures. Like, let's call a spade, right?
Yeah, but they're perfect for us today. What are you talking about? It's our turn. Everyone else has played them.
Bro, give me Bulldogs. Give me Brisbane. Give me Geelong. I don't want to see this, man. Let's play them 3 times a year.
You're gonna get.
Let's play them 3 times a year, mate.
Yeah, but you're gonna get them soon at the end of the season. We're gonna double up again. We need to bank these 8 points. They're critical. Brisbane's playing Geelong tonight. We need Brisbane to win because Geelong's gonna jump us, mate. We're teetering on the edge now, bro. I'm telling you.
Brisbane aren't going to beat Geelong.
We need to get this.
They're not going to beat Geelong. Not for dangerous 350th. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, I don't know if they're going to beat Geelong or not, there, Malaka. I'm just saying we want Brisbane to win. We don't want Geelong jumping us. We want to bank the wins. This is critical. What if we get injuries? What if we get some bad luck? We've had good luck this year. We don't want it to turn. What happens if it turns and we've got bad luck, bro? That's why if we can bank these, if we can bank St Kilda and bank West Coast and give it to Carlton, that's another fucking 12 points. We're laughing.
True. But I'm just saying it doesn't excite me as much as the other fixtures, obviously.
What do you mean doesn't excite you, Malaka?
It doesn't excite me, bro.
Well, look at it this way. I'll make you excited. This is the way I look at it, right? We're the big boys. We're sitting on top of the table. And you know what we're doing? We're just popping off prey. We're going hunting and we're just popping them off left, right, and centre. That's how I'm thinking about it. So, St Kilda, get to the Marvel on your home deck and get ready for a demolition job. No prisoners, nothing. We're going to put you back in the box. Simple as that. That's how you got to think about it, bro. We're sitting top of the table. We just got to pop them off, keep popping them off one by one, and just finish on top of the table and get ready for action, major action. Simple.
So we've got to mow them down. They're deer in headlights, and we just got to mow them down. That's it.
Yeah, like a deer in headlights. What would make you more excited? Us being 12th on the ladder, struggling to make finals. Would that make you more excited, or sitting on top of the ladder and just popping off shit kickers left, right, and centre?
Give me an AFL Super League. Give me Geelong, GWS, Brisbane, Collingwood. That's it.
I know that. I want to be able to relax after the first quarter, be up by 20, 30 points first quarter, and just relax for the rest of the game and watch how we play, what tricks they do, our ball movement, who plays where. I want to see that. I don't want to see no heart attack materials.
I feel like there's just a little upside in these games, man. If we lose, it's really bad. If we win, it's like, we won.
Yeah, it's not there because I'm worried about the 4 points, bro. I don't know what you're worried about. I don't care who I'm playing. I want those 4 points. I'm worried. I'm thinking about bigger picture, bro. I'm not thinking about
I want them to dominate, and I'm saying anything less than that, it's going to be disappointing.
Yeah, well, we're going to dominate, bro. But let me tell you something. The only way we're not going to dominate. There's only one way that we're not going to dominate them. You know how it is? If they give us full pressure, I mean ballistic pressure, that's the only way they can stop us from dominating. By giving us full-blown pressure. Apart from that, they haven't got the tools in the toolbox to stop the mechanic, us. They haven't got the tools, bro. We've got the tools. The only thing they can do is put maximum pressure on us and make us fumble and panic and shit like that.
Anyhow, so Dom in the chat says, we need to get a few games into Charlie West in case he's needed at the business end of the season. I say if we're hinging on Charlie West in the final series, we are looking in the wrong places. I think if we were to lose a tall, knock on wood we don't, we know how to play with one tall or two talls anyways. And when Darcy Cameron rolls through, we'll be sweet. That's not an issue.
Hey, listen, when the Spartans were going to war, they weren't putting the young kids at the front of the war. It was all the warriors. So our young kids have to wait now, sit back where they are. It's too late now. They've got to just sit back, let the big boys take control, get the premiership in the back pocket, and then next year, then we can start playing around again. We have to settle the side down. We've got to be fully connected before finals start, because we're going to be playing all the good sides in finals, and they can expose us. That's what they do. They do what we do. They find loose avenues, and they expose us. They expose our young kids as well.
We don't have many kids.
You reckon?
We don't have many kids though.
Yeah, I'm just saying, if we bring in young kids, they expose us. Like when we bring in when we bring in Charlie Dean defenders and young defenders, they expose us.
Yeah.
So what do you reckon? Do you reckon we stick fat with our squad as it is?
Yeah,
and we'll go for like a full ball.
I can't see us flirting or upsetting the apple cart anymore right now. I think
you can't.
DeGoey comes in, Bruzzy. That's probably Tom Mitchell. Maybe at some point. That's it. That's where I draw the line.
Yeah, but Bruzzy and DeGoey guarantees are.
Yeah, they are.
Oh, there. Just imagine now. I'm picturing it. Just imagine now a fully fit, absolute bull, Jordan DeGoey. I mean, fully fit with burst power. Just imagine a fully fit Jordan DeGoey there, fresh, right? Insert him into finals footy. Yeah, it's all over. It's all over there. Forget about it.
And Lockie Schultz, by the way. I forgot.
And Lockie Schultz as well. Yeah, you're right. I forgot about him. But just imagine that there, fully blown, fit Jordy DeGoey running through the midfield and forward, just demolishing the sides, left, right, and centre.
Someone said yesterday that he's going to play some VFL.
Well, that's all right. Hey, whatever it takes. I don't give a shit anymore. Whatever it takes. This season's critical for me. We're in a position now that we're in the best position to take that flag and be the best team in the league. 17 flags. This is critical. There can't be no mistakes now. It's our best opportunity, man. I haven't seen an opportunity like this pop up for a very long time. Very long time.
Did you hear about Myercheck?
What do you mean?
He's parking his discussions until the end of the home and away season. There are clubs in the market keen for unrestricted free agents like key forward Myercheck, who would be happy to offer multi-year deals.
Oh, hey, if that's what he wants to do, fuck off. Simple. We're not held prisoner by no player. If he wants to leave, mate. We gave him the opportunity, buddy. We gave him the opportunity. He was playing defence. He's back in the VFL. We gave him the opportunity. If he wants to do that, let him go, mate.
So what do you reckon Collingwood are going to offer him?
Would you be upset if he...
Collingwood are probably offering, what, a year or two? Maybe Myercheck thinks he can get 3 somewhere?
Oh, well, if he wants to get 3 and just be a rat and do a dog act on us after we gave him the opportunity.
Now, all right, what about this? What about this? They offer him, Collingwood, offer him 1 year. Other clubs are offering him 2. Fair enough if he goes? Fair enough?
Oh, if he goes for 2 years, he's a dickhead.
Well, you're calling... Hold on. You're calling Tim Membry St Kilda dickheads for not offering Tim Membry 2 years. They only offered him 1. That's a double standard, mate.
Yeah, but they delisted him.
They offered him a year, bro. He didn't accept it, therefore they delisted him.
Yeah, all right. So if my check goes, that's his decision. Big deal. Well, what do you think I'm going to sit there and worry about it? Or just get Westy in and
I'm
give
just
Tommy to
saying,
Westy?
is it fair enough? Is it like morally, is it fair enough if, like, from on your moral compass, is it fair enough if he's offered only 1 year at Collingwood, but 2 years elsewhere? Is it fair enough if he wants to leave? No hard feelings?
No hard feelings because he's old now. And I don't think he's worth 2 more years anyways. So if he stays for another year, just to give us another tool for the premiership, that's up to him. But for 2 years, I'd rather let him go and get Westy in and give Westy time. Wouldn't you?
I think Westy needs a couple more years anyways in like key forwards, man. They don't come out till they're 23, 24, unless you're Sam Darcy.
Why? What? There's other key forwards in other teams now playing in their first year. You
Who?
throw them in there, mate. You give them a chance to perform.
What? Who?
Caddy?
Okay.
Caddy?
Okay.
Yeah. What about the forwards from Fremantle? How do you think? How do you think they are?
22.
Still 21, 20-year-olds, bro.
Josh Tracy and Jai Miss.
Yeah. Well, West is 18. He'll be 19 soon. Then you got Mychek playing for another year, right? Next year. So when you bring him in, he'll be 20. What's the difference?
Yeah, but we might. But here's the thing, right? If Mychek isn't offered 2 years, he leaves at the end of this year. So then West has to play full time next year.
Oh, well, if he leaves, he leaves. What? Seriously. What? How much does Mychek really do for us now every week? Seriously, if you think about it.
He's having his best. What do you mean? He's having his best season.
Yeah, but if he goes, do you think we're gonna miss him that much? Seriously.
Well, I mean, if we bring in Ben King, he'll be all right.
That's what maybe that's what they're only offering 1 year, maybe.
That's what I'm saying.
Hey, we don't know what's going on. There's talk that we're getting row as well.
Hey,
see?
They're playing chess. Everyone else is playing checkers, mate.
Yeah, we're playing the game assuming. We're assuming what's going to happen. We've got no idea. We don't know what the club's up to. The only time we're going to find out is next year, or end of the year.
Yep.
But he's out of care. If he wants to go and get 600 a year at another club, North Melbourne or some other place, and finish off there, that's up to him. What are you going to do?
How many more years for checkers based on current form? 1 year, 2 years. Let him go end of year. How about that? Let's make it.
The club could be doing injury prevention as well. They could be doing injury prevention. They don't know what could happen with these older players. Or is it they all start breaking down? Then we've got big dramas.
All right. Poll has been submitted.
What are you thinking? What do you want to do? You tell me what you want to do. I don't give a shit.
I don't know. I'm just glad I don't have to make these decisions. How about that?
Yeah, but
how about that?
You must have an opinion on them.
I would give checkers 2 years. Based on current form. And I'm not going to assume as a club that we're going to get Ben King. What if Ben King says, "Nah, I want to stay. Look at what we're doing at Gold Coast."
Yeah, I know, but the main thing is we've got forwards. We've got enough forwards now to cover him. See, we've got forwards to cover him. Looks like Cox is gone. Guaranteed, Cox is gone because if they didn't make Cox emergency and they put Steen emergency, I reckon they're gone past Cox as well. We'll see. We'll talk about that shit when it happens. End of the year. We've got bigger fish to fry at the moment. We're not worried about that shit now. We're worried about the big prize, mate. That's what we're worried about.
Yep. Hey, let me see if Boom is here. If Boom is here, I'll see you later. But if he's not, stick around. Give me a sec.
I'll check.
Boomer, you here?
Yeah, of course I am. Can't you see me?
Where were you before? I called your name like 10 minutes ago.
Well,
Where
it was
were
on
you?
delay. It was on delay, and I've got to turn YouTube off because that's about 15 seconds behind. Otherwise, I feed back.
Ah,
And while I was turning it off, you just got impatient. That's okay, mate.
what's
Patience is my middle name.
what's going on your end? What are you seeing? What are you thinking?
Well, I don't know about all this checker stuff because the media love debaters. What are they, fucking forgettable? And what's
Yeah,
that Caro Wilson show? The agenda setters? I mean, hey,
yeah.
dude, the agenda. No, forgettable, I think, is it? Forgettable, because that's what they are. Or the other ones. Yeah, I know, but I call them forgettable because they are, because I can't remember the cunts.
Manny,
But anyway,
tell Manny to mute himself. I need you to focus, Boomer. I need Manny to mute himself.
yeah, well, what's the other one? The agenda centers. I mean, yeah, about giving me a reach around without saying I want to reach around. Like, fucking hell, these dudes are wankers. But, got a bit of interesting fucking club history for you that you're going to love. But, go back about 100 years. The old Magpies were heading down to Tasmania for a demonstration game. How familiar is that? And the old boat, and the weather was kind of shit, and I dare say the boys might have had a snifter of rum or two. And when they got to the fucking play the game the next day, they were all hungover as fuck. And they were just like, by quarter time, they'd scored about a point. Don't know who they were playing. I think it might have been Richmond. And they said, look, we just can't do the old drop kicks. So let's just kick it short and just try to get through the game because I'm feeling crook as. They developed what was the place kick. We went on to win 4 fucking premierships. Whoa, go Pies. That was nearly 100 years ago, guys. So how's that for a bit of history? Tasmania
Where'd
and
you
fucking
find
us.
that?
Oh, just in the club history, mate. Britannia Football Club. Hell, that. I'm not going to give away my sources, buddy. I've got lots of sources. So, yeah, but that's so the place kick, we developed it because we had a fucking hangover. They reckon they were seasick. No, they fucking weren't. They were hungover. Yeah, the old pictures with the handlebar moustaches and they drop kick everywhere, but just a bit of wonderful club history. So you're going to do this all the time when we play on Saturday night? You're going to do a Friday pre-show, or what's your caper here? I'm kind of a bit confused.
Yeah, well, there was I mentioned at the start of the show. There's a couple factors that go into it. One being, one of them, I'm extremely busy tomorrow, so I don't have much of a chance to do it before or early in the day or just before the game. And I figured Saturday is a pretty busy day for most people. So and some people are venturing to the game. So maybe for the Saturdays in particular, maybe I do the Friday night. I'm not too sure. We'll see what the feedback is. What are your thoughts?
Oh, well, it's kind of funny for me. I'm a bit neutral. I'm an either or because doing a pre-show and a post-show either side of the game probably is a bit close.
Yeah.
But then for me, because I love footy, dude, I just love watching footy, but I just don't have a heart attack when it's not us. But, I mean, tonight's going to be Geelong and fucking Brisbane. Yeah. You know who's going to win that? Us. We're going to win that because one of them isn't. So, hey?
Yeah, you're right. But
it's
a win-win.
Yep, so I'm going to love watching it down at fucking, what do you call it, Pork Barrel Taxpayer Park, because the government filled up fucking Geelong's coffers to make that little fucking shit cow paddock into a big shit cow paddock. And something I'm going to fucking have to throw out to the AFL. Talk about fucking shenanigans. Carlton play North and West Coast about 4 or 5 weeks back and play North and West Coast now. And if you're at the start of the season, you reckon you might not whack 5 shillings on fucking Carlton to be top of the ladder? Of course, not realising how shit they actually are. That the way to me, we played 7 teams above us when we finished out of the 8. Yet Carlton, who finished in the 8, probably 6 or so, managed to play Richmond first. So they played the bottom. It's fucked. They should have been playing top or mid teams. I reckon the fuckers have actually who do this. Oh, dude, I'm just going to come out and say it. There's fucking bullshit in this fixture. It's never even. All the buys are all over the place. It's made so they can drop money down and get short-term bets. Because imagine dropping $5,000 on Carlton to be top of the ladder. You probably would have got it if Carlton maybe won a few more games. But I don't know. I just reckon it's fucking gambling myself, mate. There's fucking bullshit going on here, but not enough to nail them. What do you think?
I think not much in life is fair, and we've so far we've overcome it, and that's makes the story more grand, you know. Don't you feel that?
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's a win against adversity. I tell you what, though, tomorrow, Ross in the game against us, Ross Lyon is a good coach. I reckon he knows how to beat Collingwood. He just doesn't have the cattle to do it, and that's going to fucking frustrate him.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, Rossi, it seems like Rossi's always has something up our sleeve. We're 6-4 in our last 10 games against the Saints, so that probably says something. Matty Mac says, just regarding my check, get some picks and free up cap space. I think depending on how long the off, if my check is to go elsewhere, depends how long the contract is and how much he's getting paid. Our window, he also says, our window before everyone leaves is until 2027, then start thinking about the kids. Yeah, I suppose we can just, hang tight, enjoy where we are for now, and we'll see. Like, I mean, it's hard to tell where we're going to be in 2027, but we're here. We're at the top at the moment, and if we keep following the Geelong formula or the Fly McRae formula, I mean, hopefully we don't bottom out. Maybe we miss finals here and there, but I'm truthfully hoping we don't bottom out.
Yeah, I'm noticing with you guys. Oh, who was that guy the other night giving you grief? Was it Rick? I think his name was. You don't know what you're talking about. You shit, whatever else. Would you do something a few days back? And was it Rick? Was that his name?
There's I don't know. There's a few hecklers here and there.
Oh, it just cracked me up too, because it'd be nice to see him when he gets his YouTube happening and comes and shows us all how it's done. But I just cracked up, They don't bring anything to the table like that. You're a shit house and I'm just going to be a whitey little bitch until fucking, I don't know, some people, like Eddie Maguire said, you can give out gold bars in Burke Street and some fucker's going to say they're too fucking heavy. You know what I mean? There's always a moaner, always a whiny little bitch, but then we can have fun with them, can't we?
Yeah, you just make the fun of it. They're not the one who's brave enough to put themselves in front of a camera. So if they want to come and say something, they're the laughing stock in the end.
Aren't they? Yeah, they just embarrass themselves, mate, but that's the way trolls are, because trolls don't realise an idiot is someone who keeps doing it because I don't know they're an idiot, and that's a troll. But I've been noticing in the chat, not tonight, but I want to love for Lipper, and like we all pretty much wanted to kill him. The thing with Lipinski, do you reckon we might have missed him in the Melbourne game? I kind of think we did.
Yeah, I think I would say most people would agree that we missed a little bit of polish around the ground, given it was tough conditions and Melbourne really owned the inside. They owned most of the game, to be fair to them. So, yeah, we missed him.
Yeah.
What is it? What's absence makes the heart grows fonder. So I think there's a bit of that plays into it as well.
Yeah, look, and you don't see him a lot on telly, but he was normally the one receiving the fourth or fifth handball in the handball chain. Now, that works on the proviso you get the first three quickies out. So he'd be running and making position. If there's a turnover, and that's highly likely when it's in tight, he's suddenly given his opposition player 2 metres he's got to make up. But when it does get on the end of a handball chain, he gets it in, and him having one of the 3 M's coming down, there's always one long, one short. He can kick it to those two in a clear spot, or he's got Bobby or Billy running the other way. So from the players like Steelo and Pendles and Lepper to be kicking into our forward line when we get the break, that fucks up opposition back lines, mate. They can't cover 4 spots at least, or 2 at least. So I think it's a good tactic for us right now, the way we're rolling with these 3.
Yep. Yeah. I think we'll get a really good idea over the next 4 to 5, 6 weeks, hopefully with a bit of continuity between, Membry, Checkers, McStay, Billy, Bobby. I feel like, we've been almost rotating that forward department. So it'll be interesting to see if we can keep them all together on the field, because I want to see what that looks like going into the finals.
Yep, and I'll tell you what too, dude, you know how Magpies have got the triple M's. Well, we here at Pies Footy, in this wonderful little social group you've built here, we too have our own triple M. It's called the Manic Many Moment. And I reckon you can make a whole tape of them over the coming year of many moments.
It doesn't take much to tide them over
dude.
either.
It's just fucking awesome, dude. It's one or the other, isn't it? He's either fucking wanting to kill someone or love someone. Yeah. It's so cool. I like it. Good value there, mate.
It's a great play.
Yeah, but look, now we just hit that point in the season where, if I remember serves me correctly, this time last year is when we went from a couple of draws and quite a few wins to we lost 4 in a row despite having big names come back and despite being middle of the road teams, I think. Does that ring a bell with you?
Say that again. You cut out that last bit.
The last year, we played 4 not middle of the road teams. We got a lot of players back, but we lost 4 in a row, I think.
Yeah, well, we made too many changes going into the Gold Coast game. Fly mentioned in the preseason that he brought players back in last year who maybe were fit to play but not fit to perform. We played against Gold Coast, Essendon, Hawthorn, Geelong. I've got it tattooed at the back of my head.
It sounds like it. Yeah, well, so this is obviously the sliding doors moment. I don't see us repeating it, but at this stage, look, I've been cruising around the local town here, and we're basically a Geelong-based team. Ooh. And further north is Dimboola, which is Essendon royalty, with Tim Watson and the Danahers and that. And yet, I've been noticing on car aerials and just generally people, that thread tape that plumbers use, that white tape and a bit of black electrical tape? Yeah. It's round car aerials. And I'm walking out the supermarket looking at people winking, saying, "Go Pies," and we're all got a spring in our step. There's a spring in our step and a smile on our dial, mate. You can tell a magpie right now at fucking 100 metres. You can just see it. We got a grin. I love it too, dude. We're all, I don't know, we might not win it this year because the finals are all a different thing, but people say they're shit scared of Geelong. I'm not. I reckon Geelong's biggest fucking hurdle is Geelong themselves, because they got huge hometown pressure on them when they play.
Yeah, we'll have our demons to conquer. I think if there is a demon to conquer this year, will be Geelong, in my opinion. But Geelong, like you said, will have their own things to face.
I reckon we're more likely to drop it. Say, there's one of my friends who's a North Melbourne supporter, so don't feel too hard on him because he's been through enough pain the last 30 years. But he's picked us as our Smoky for tomorrow. He always picks a Smoky in his footy tipping. But he reckons the Saints are going to get us. Yeah, he reckons the Saints are going to knock us. We're going to go out with he reckons we're going to be in the clouds a bit.
Well, let's hope not. Let's hope that's not the case.
Well, if we need a kick in the arse, now's the time of the year to get it, because that'll fire us right up. But look, I just think right now with Jeremy Howe and the boys up back, I just think we're too strong. And now I've got to ask you this, but when you bring up these stats, and I'm always one of those ones, I do like to hear them, but I like a comparison. So if the ball's coming from the opposition 50, you know what I mean, scores off turnovers and that sort of thing, what are the situations where it doesn't come from the opposition back line to kick a goal? Because it doesn't go in much for us, but we convert at a high rate. So is that good or bad?
So are you talking from an opposition standpoint scoring or Collingwood scoring?
Well, either way, we get it into our 50 not many times per game.
Yeah.
We get beaten +8 or +9 to them.
Yep.
But our percentage of scoring is 80% and they're only 40%. So when we get it into our forward line, we bang and it's through. It's none of this arm wrestle bullshit. I don't know how does this figure into with stats wise? Do you see what I'm getting at? Yeah. We score quickly and then it's back to the centre.
Yeah, you got your score. Your score sources are simply turnover and stoppage. So goal is either going to come from stoppage or turnover. Then there's origin, right? Defensive half from our back half, we're like middle of the pack, but our true, Thor's hammer is the forward half turnover game, turnover, and tie that in with just being efficient going inside 50. I think we score 1 in every 4 times we enter inside 50 across the course of the year. So, and that's what we did so well in 2023. It weren't statistically pleasing, but we just found a way to score. However, this year, I would like to think we're, compared to 2023 in particular, we are a bit more better statistically by a little bit, but the difference between 23 and this year also is we're winning quite heavily with large margins, despite not pumping teams statistically either.
Well, someone brought this up, might have been on Swoop's channel or whatever, but I think he said that we've got a higher percentage this time over our 2023 year. because we were winning all those close games, whereas now we're winning games by bigger margins. Same win-loss ratio.
I did just
but
say that.
More. Hey?
I did just say that. Didn't you hear me?
Oh, no, I didn't hear you say that. Right,
I said the difference between 23 and 25 is our winning margin is far more significant than 23, which is, despite not statistically being, astronomically better.
Okay. Sorry, dude, it's read the chat.
Yeah.
Many's Malacca moments. That's our Triple M. We've got a Triple M of Many's Malacca moments.
Yeah.
Thank you. Who is that? Stu, someone.
Stu's got a good
Nice
one.
one, Stu. Dude, yeah, these chat dude, these guys make this happen. This is such a good little community. So now Brodie Holland pointed out one about the Melbourne game where is it Langdon that Melbourne put on to check out and take out Nick Dacos?
Yeah.
Well, by them using him to eliminate our best player, who's still got 19 and fucking whatever after half time, he only got 4 and gave away kicks. So Melbourne took one of their prime ball movers out of the game in order to do the same to us, and basically it didn't work. It's like a exchange queens in chess, but they didn't exchange queens.
Yeah.
They gave us a bishop back.
Yeah,
Yeah,
they're
they
robbing
fucked it
Peter to pay Paul. They may have nullified Nick Dacos for certain points, but like you said, Ed Langdon is a winger. He's a really great outside player, real good connector. Think of like a Lipinski in a certain way, and they missed him. They won the contest, but they were horrible with the ball.
Yep. Now, here's something with Melbourne too, because we've just done them, so I feel qualified to point out. But when you look at Max Gawn, Oliver, and fucking Petrarca, they should scare the fucking shit out of any team in the league, shouldn't they? That is where on their best day, that is a fucking awesome midfield collection of players. Yet they don't play to their some of their parts, do they? There's something seriously wrong with them when those guys, and they've got fucking Stephen May giving Max Gawn grief, and yet he gives away the same shit the following week to us. Like, something funny about the way they didn't play against us, but then it was a shit day to play footy.
Oh, they're a bit dysfunctional. I think that they're a lot of the games they're losing are only due to their own faults, and that's sort of been an issue even in their across the period where they were, really competitive in the top 4 when they won the flag. They weren't always efficient.
Yep, true. And look, here's a great little one out of the Melbourne game the other day, because I haven't had a chance to bring this up. But one of my mates and his mates went to the Cricketers' Arms because they couldn't get in to watch the game there on the telly and have a few beers and be less crowded. But anyway, after the slide and all that shit's happened, these 2 guys have walked in all rugged up and they've gone and sat over at a table, and they couldn't quite see the TV, but they were looking around the pillar to watch the TV. So my mate says to them, guys, come over and sit with us. You know what I mean? Footy being a social thing and making us the animals that we are. And they've come over and sat down and like, oh, no, it's all right. No, come on, come and sit down and watch the game. Like you want to watch the game, so we've got spare seats. Anyway, I said to them, so what are you guys doing here? Oh, well, we actually barracked for Carlton. Oh, fuck.
Oh,
and we just came to watch the water slide. Like, what the fuck? Now, yeah, so it's too cold. We're going to go home. Do you want a couple of tickets? And they gave me mate and his friend the tickets to go to the game.
Really?
For nothing.
Hey.
So these are Carlton supporters giving Collingwood supporters tickets. Even their supporters don't know how to hate us.
We're all friends in the end, apparently.
How's that for a fucking game? Oh, dude, I'm gobsmacked. I said to me mate, the doc, I said, so how do you feel? He goes, well, I got him off a Carlton supporter, so I kind of feel dirty, but well.
Fair enough.
So how's that for a nice little fucking story, though? You go to just watch the game, you don't get in, and then dudes end up giving you the ticket. Like, yeah, God, I love footy.
Take it, but yeah, take it.
We're not.
Just I don't know, something a bit sus about that, but yeah. It's a moral dilemma. Do you take the ticket so you can watch your lads play, but the caveat is it's from a Carlton fan?
Yeah, well, put it this way. If you're a Carlton fan, I wouldn't give a Collingwood supporter a ticket. Years ago, I walked into the pub when Phil Malin owned it. And my mate, who was a Carlton fan, we used to hit the pubs big time around Fitzroy. We've walked in and he's thinking I was going to go, Phil Malin. And he's behind the bar and I started talking to him as a Carlton player and like, he's just really enjoying being with an AFL player. And I actually said to him at one stage, hey, tell me, Phil, of all those years you played, would you have ever pulled on a Collingwood jumper? And he looked me in the eye and said, it would have fucking burnt, mate. Yeah, that's the spirit. Because I hated Carlton and it's good to see they hated us too. It was like, Yeah, it was where you were supposed to be, you know. So that was one of the cooler sides of it. But yeah, that's all pretty good. And now here's one I did want to pose to you. But right now, with our forward line of the 3Ms and Bobby and Billy, do you think we've got a better forward line than 2010, which was Dawsey and Cloak, Didac, I can't remember who else, Jared Blair, and I can't remember who else we had back in 2010.
I'd say 2010.
What do you
yes.
think?
Hard.
You reckon 2010's...
Different generations, obviously. You know, we're talking 15 years apart. I'd probably go with what we haven't. Probably go, Clokey, Reedy would have been around the mark there.
Ben Reid, but he was doing. He was actually a centre half back forward. He was doing one or the other. Yes. He was our nuts and bolts boy.
Didac, Leon Davis. I don't know. I'm not. I can't. You're asking me a tough question. Really...
Okay.
Oh, how about this? I'll tell you. I can give you an answer at the end of the year. How about that?
All right. Well, fair enough. But the way I see it, Clokey was really good at the 50-metre line, but you put him 10 feet in front of the goals and he'd miss.
Yeah.
Dawsey, he was actually pretty fucking good. We just didn't have him for long enough. I don't know what happened there.
Yeah.
Bobby Hill, Leon Davis, to me, similar magic. Yep. I love both of them. They were both really, they could turn a game. Jared Blair and Jamie Elliott. Well, I think Jamie Elliott actually trumps Jared Blair. In fact, I think Jamie might have replaced him, if Mem serves correct. But then we look at the midfields. I think we had those superstars in there in Swanee, Pendles, young Pendles and so forth. But for me now, this is an interesting comparo because 2010 we should have been a dynasty. And I think Nick Maxwell's better at captain than, say, Darcy Moore might be, but that could be changed. You know, we don't know. But I'm just really seeing shades now. This to me is, well, it's our best team since 2010 at least. Would you go as far as to give us that?
Yeah, I mean, we draw comparisons to 2011 with this side right now, but this season's still a half-written love letter. It's not over yet. Once the story is written in full, I can hopefully at the end of the season say, see, it was like 2011, except we got the flag. That's what I'm hoping for. Yeah.
Well, there was a point there in 2011 where I think by about round 8, we'd only been behind on the scorecard for like 35 minutes. We would forward press into we're in front, and then we would just grind them down. This team seems to let the opposition play themselves, disperse their energy, then we go on. We tackle hard to begin with, make them earn it, and then they only get a couple of goals ahead, if that, and then we just come back and steamroll over them. And I've got to say, the Fly game plan, he's learning all the time, but the team's doing it with him. And yeah, I've got to say, man, this is a fucking good team right now.
That's it. Sign us off, Boomer.
Yep. Oh, really? I was about to say, is there anyone else in the queue?
No.
Well, guys, it's an interesting match coming up. We're halfway through the season. The love affair with our team is going as well as we'd like it to be. All I can say to those Carlton supporters out there is fuck you. I hope you lose, like I always do, but you know that's going to happen. We're going to knock off St Kilda tomorrow, hoping by 28 points. Saints will give us a game, but then everyone gives us a game. So cheers, peace out, peeps, and hopefully we'll see you on the other side of the game at a great post-match show with a smile on the dial and a spring in your step. Cheers, people. Go Pies.
Cheers, Boomer. Go Pies.